do you think?
Probably a few things. I think we did really, really well to hang in there for 170, probably over the 180 overs, and Dinesh batted really well. And I think once they got the big, a decent sized lead, it was always going to be tough for us. And unfortunately, it started spinning. They bowled well tonight, and things. You can have those sessions where things move pretty quickly in the subcontinent. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong end of it.
You said you hung on for 170 overs. Why do you think you couldn't find those breakthroughs you sort of needed to really roll them faster?
Yeah, a combination of things. We looked back at yesterday. I think we created 11 or 12 chances. A couple probably didn't go our way. A couple we just slightly missed. I thought they batted quite well. The pitch was by no means similar to last week. It was just a really good surface, and the ball got soft out there. So it was a challenge. It was a grind. I thought we held it to keep them kind of under 3 and over for that long. I thought we did really well.
Did it deteriorate today, the pitch, or was it batting just the combination of both?
Hard to say. I think it certainly, as the game went on, it got mainly the foot marks. I think started to react quite a bit more. I think a fresh bowling side always makes a slightly bit of a difference as well. So it's kind of all happened pretty quickly, and unfortunately we're on the wrong side.
You've had 3 months on the subcontinent, and obviously it's like in between, but do you feel like that was sort of a disappointing end to what you guys seem to think you made a lot of strides forward in the way you play here recently?
We turn up knowing it's it's a very tough place to win series and games over here. So to come away with a series draw, with the same team that won last week, we grinded out in Pakistan to come from a series win. So might be a bit of a reality check that it's tough playing away from home. There's different conditions to what we've grown up playing in, and makes probably for more learnings than after a win.
You go back to the morning of day 2, I think it was, when you lost 5 for 35 in the first innings. Was that a bit of a turning point, especially considering how changing you were batting?
I thought that was probably an opportunity missed. The way we set up the game in day 1, hoping to get 400 plus, which history suggests here he puts himself in a really, really good position. Unfortunately, probably us tails, none of us hung around with Smithy long enough to get up to the 400 plus. Which kind of meant even if we were out there for 180 overs, you probably kind of level at the break, at the turn.
How about on today's batting? I think you said before the first or second test about failing, as long as you're failing in the way that you want to fail, sticking to your game.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you feel like you failed in the way you wanted to?
It's kind of happened quite quickly. I haven't really reviewed it yet. I don't know. Maybe some batters did. Some batters, went out with a really clear plan, and you just get a ball with your name on it earlier than you kind of would have liked. So, again, it's a good reality check for people touring over here that it's really hard. And I think there's so many positives out of last week that we did find methods that work. And one small hiccup doesn't mean you've got to change everything about your game.
What about hiccups on the review front? Is that something that needs to be reviewed?
We're always trying to get better at that. It's just one of those ones. I think in the past we've burnt reviews that we look back and thought that they weren't a good chance, especially the 2 yesterday. We were really, really confident on both of those. So try and always perfect and improve our systems. Unfortunately, especially over here with so many kind of balls near edges and pads, it kind of feels like there's more chances to use them up than over back home. But keep working on it.
How much impact does it have when you've been in the field for so long to come out and bat like that? Do you think it was mentally tiring, or what impact then does it have?
I'd say it's one of those intangibles that in cricket seems to happen. I thought everyone felt pretty good when we came off the field. I thought we managed it really well, and we've been on the other end of that plenty of times where we've really grinded out with the bat and kind of get your chance. The bowlers are fresh and things seem to happen a little bit faster.
Pat, all through this you've been talking about the India series, all your players as well. Do you think when you prepare for that, of course, long way off, you will take notes from here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, last weekend, this week. There's I think probably half our batting lineup, half our bowling lineup hasn't played a lot over here in subcontinent. So the experience from these two vastly different wickets. I think we've got a lot of lessons out of this to take on to into India next year.
What was the chat in the innings break about how you needed to approach the next innings being 299?
Just bat. I think it's still close to 5 sessions in the game. I felt like if we had a lead of we were behind by maybe around about 100, just a bit over 100, we're still well in the game. 200 probably crept it out. Just first of all try and bat for the rest of the day and kind of come up with a plan for tomorrow.
You mentioned learnings and kind of being a reality check. I know you haven't had a lot of time to digest this, but what might some of those areas be that you're kind of looking to fine-tune?
I think it's just those individual methods. Everyone does it in their own way, slightly different, but just trying to come up and just get that a little bit better at everything you're trying to do. We'll obviously sit down after this and review it and look at different areas and maybe tactics, but I think it's just those methods which might be quite different to what we experience back home, and trying to be good enough overseas for it.
I know the last few months looks like they're pretty positive, but when you look at the batting, there's one or two guys I guess who have no for a few months in the road in Asia. Do you think it's a case for having set teams when you're playing home in Australia and then a different, to some extent, when you are playing in Asia?
I think within reason. You see that with the bowlers. You got someone like Joshy Hazelwood sitting on the bench. Glenn Maxwell was a conversation around his batting for this game. Absolutely. I think the challenge with playing in Asia as well is unless you give people a go, you kind of don't know how. That they can, someone like a Greenie, can come out and show that he's well up to the task. Others might take a little bit longer. So I think it's striking that balance. A good thing is, even to some of the guys that maybe didn't have as good a series they would have hoped, it's 2 more test matches under their belt, which they'll learn heaps from.
With all those changes that Sri Lanka had to this, does that actually impact your preparation because you're not expecting some of those players to come in?
Not hugely. We had a bit of a look through, those guys. Thikshana obviously we saw in the ODIs. I guess there was conversations around how you would go about facing the new guys, but didn't really change prep much.
Sorry. When did you start thinking about India already, Pat? I mean, it's such a long time to go, and a home season as well before that. So, at what point do you start actually seriously concentrating what's going to happen in India, also based on what?
We'll sit down and review this series, try and put away lots of notes and ideas, and then I think kind of bank that to one side and then work towards the home summer. It's probably, in Australia most likely you only play one spinner, so in the background you're probably trying to prepare a couple of other guys for if they get the chance over in India. So it's striking that balance, but I think the last 2 tours we've learned a heap. I think we've come a long way in how we've played, and try and park that to one side and try and remember it in 6 months.
What about Wrestling as captain? That 5 tests on the subcontinent, obviously that India one is a big one. What have you learned as a captain? What do you know now that you didn't know at the start of Pakistan?
I think field placements and using the spin bowlers. I hadn't had a lot of experience with that, and just managing the tempo and even the bowling spells. We 180 overs out here. It happens, quite a bit, overseas. So, just kind of managing different bowlers, trying to keep a relative control on the scoreboard and the scoring rate. So, felt like I've learned quite a bit.
And managing different bowlers, would Nathan Lyon come into that category? Like you leaned on him heavily on this first year?
Yeah, he was huge. We're really lucky to have him in our side, who can basically just give the ball down one end, and we'll see at the end of the innings. So even yeah, I guess that's he can bowl all day, but you don't really want him bowling 45 overs from one end. So even that was just at times finding the moments to chop him out to give him a bit of a spell.
Did he lose a bit of potency towards the end of that innings, or do you think just because of the sheer amount of overs he bowled?
I thought he hardly bowled a bad ball for the whole time. No doubt, after 40 odd overs or 50 odd overs, yeah, you must be tired. So maybe you lose a little bit, but I thought he was fantastic.
And just like that, I mean, you've spoken a lot about it already, like everything that's been happening in Sri Lanka and you guys just being here during such has it given you just more perspective about life itself and like, what cricket means?
Yeah, it has. We spent 2 years basically stuck at home during COVID, and our last 2 tours have been to Pakistan. We hadn't toured there for 20 odd years, and now to Sri Lanka in the middle of country in crisis. We've got protests around the ground. It really hits home how lucky we are to be, I guess, travelling the world first of all, but also in some ways it's more than just being here to play cricket. You see the impact it can have. So it hasn't been lost on our group. With something we speak about quite a bit.
And how much did yesterday's protests and then also speaking to those two young girls help with that realisation?
Yeah, the protests yesterday were, couldn't escape it. We got lots of messages from back home, just saying, how is it? I hope you're okay. And we felt totally fine. Just, you could just hear kind of when it changed from protest into a party. And chatting to, a couple of the girls, also even just some of the staff around the hotel and a couple of drivers. They're doing it really tough. They're having one day eating, one day off eating to try and feed their kids. It's just really tough.